Peace and blessings. Sapo, the Success Scholar. Thank you all for tuning in and listening in. Man, I wanted to do this, have this conversation, just to let everybody know, give everybody a heads up on a lot of good things that are happening. And I wanted to take some time. Peace, sister, peace, and blessings. Wanted to take some time, and for you all that's looking on YouTube, I definitely want to give a shout out to those that are not watching me live right now, but just got a new book that just came in. I'm stepping up the game here, and this is Circle of Profits. Now, I got this idea about this particular book. Oops, I'm sorry. Keep this Circle of Profits. It's actually working on with Les Brown on some things. So, and this one came out in 2016. So I'm upgrading my skills and understanding the power of using your email. But I want to talk about speaking and writing. I mean, I've been out here for quite some time, uh, starting with just marketing other authors' books, and that was something I love to do. Though and there were limitations to actually people reading and the time that people have, as well as what they're willing to invest in. So I would just say that when I'm working on my new book, and that's actually what uh, is going to happen coming up here. I'm going to say in the next few months. It's definitely got part of it together. The outline is together, and certainly speaking and writing will be something that I address in that because I've done that via on radio or when I had small events or when I, for instance, uh, hosted other authors and did the community lectures in the Baltimore area. What's going on, Brother Peace? I'm sorry, Brother Musa. Yeah. So, but I learned some things, and this took me into some deep research in terms of how particular writers uh, are able to get to the next level, as well as speakers. And depending upon how big you want to grow, you got to look at a lot of different things. And this can go for people in film and theater. I've been doing several uh, operations, branching off at Coppin State at Morgan as well as Bowie State to connect with some of the theater individuals. Uh, and I learned, and just by listening and talking, but also my research, that a key component to much of this, and I'm is developing one's marketing. Individuals can be an average speaker or have average marketing materials, or an individual can be a great speaker, and that goes the same thing for a writer. But if your marketing is off, right? No, nobody know that you exist. So I've gotten really, really good at that over time, and this book is going to help me out a lot. Circle of Profits, uh, realizing that I needed this part to the puzzle. We got the first book together. I have several audio projects, several audio products, shall I say this, in development right now that I know that are phenomenal, and I know there's certainly good content, great interviews, as well as myself just going over anywhere from speaking to writing to film to entrepreneurship to marketing. We've interviewed a lot of different amazing individuals over the past year and a half, and realized that I have over 80 powerful interviews with I mean, from people all over the spectrum in terms of entrepreneurship and business and speaking and marketing individuals. So, I'm excited about that, but more so, I realized after time that I was at another level, and it was time to go to the next level. It was time to start beginning to create more revenue streams that are consistent with my qualification as well as my experience. So understanding that, I had to realize, and you have to realize that, you may have to change your who you actually are marketing to. So I have a book here. Actually, I have several books, but this was going to help me a lot. Um, selling to the fluent, and this is the gentleman that wrote the book Millionaire Mind and Millionaire Next Door. So looking at this, and I mean, it's a lot. It's really good. So I'm just going to read some of the brief contents. What do the fluent need? Two of the market's most extraordinary sales professionals talk about sales in here. Prospecting successful authors. Now I'm going to go back and read that right now because it's just sometimes it's not about who you are, it's who you interview, right? So, and that's part of the book that I'm working on. I'm actually going to do some pieces on interviewing tips. I think that's essential. And I've read a book. Actually, I was a sponsor of the Toastmasters 2018 conference, District 18 conference last year. Yeah, it was in 2016, maybe, or maybe early this part of the year. But I learned from that there was the international champion of Toastmasters, and I got his book on moderating panels as well as moderating. I'm sorry, yeah, as well as interviewing individuals. So, take some tips that I learned as well. From looking at some of the best, more the some of the journalists, individuals, and tips that I've gotten from, for instance, attending the NNPA conference and just talking to people, holding conversations. But you know, I realize, and you have to realize that sometimes you have to be in the right place to make these things happen and have the right tools. So, and today in today's society, you can do a lot of this just basically, with your phone, just taking and doing the audio. And next thing you know, it's on a podcast. The next thing you know, it's on the MP3. So, so with that being said, again, I believe sincerely that becoming an author, not just an author, but a best-selling author, is a key uh, fundamental thing that individuals can do that are speakers. Because again, your book is like a business card, and this is why I realized, with all the things I'm doing, of course, and then some films, and I've tried to stay helping people out with doing different film projects. I've assisted. We had the film Coming to Baltimore, and the 7 a.m. just the Black Friday, the Gentrified, and the 1804. But so I had realized I had to, of course, have my hand in that, but also that I needed to position my books more, with people that are inspired and people that like, for instance, Dr. Frazier as well as Les Brown. So this is where realizing that, okay, I'm not gonna put a lot of money into this. So it's still hot. It's still hot. I'm still hot. Still things are building and growing from this. So I'm not going to minimize what I've accomplished so far, particularly when you have talents and skills that people recognize you for. So currently, I'm really stepping up my reading and writing, and I'm going to be having to go through this. This is a handbook for writers. This is a Webster's dictionary, Webster's handbook for writers, a paragraph improving your writing skills, as well as how to give how to write and give a speech. So, and for instance, this goes through several things. It's a black woman. I didn't know that. All right. How to assess an audience, research your subject, give team presentations, speak to international audiences, use humor, create a memorable style, handle copywriting issues, use PowerPoint and other audio visuals, manage Q&A, and control nervousness. These are some of the things in this book. So again, my book will be coming out here in a few months. I'm going to put it out there and make it happen. I'm taking my hands off a few other projects, but I am starting something else with Quelling TV. So I'm not, I realized that I had to hit different areas to, increase my expertise level. But I know that I need to have my hands in some things, because I see how other speakers have done it. I truly have, and I truly believe and realize, and I know what's limit. I'm sorry, what I've how I'm not going to say limited myself, but I know what were some of the key things that I'm missing. So a matter of fact, I'm gonna look something up recently. I was going through a real prominent speaker on the West Coast, Norma Hollis's training that actually took some maybe 2 3 years ago, and she's right up there along the line of Dr. Willie Jolly. Her and Dr. Willie Jolly are very tight, but I learned some things from that, of which I knew that I need to touch upon. So I was going back through that training, but I know exactly what those missing ingredients were, and certainly I believe having my own book where I can add on, because again, when you are a success, not a success scholar, but you're the success scholar, you know that you have some unique points to the puzzle. Reading the right books and showing up at the right places, you can get to the next level. So this is what I'm reading now, brothers and sisters. This I'm going to start reading this, man. I got a lot of reading to do. I'm about to, I'm telling you, if y'all don't see me a lot, it's because I'm studying, really getting some of the key things that I know I need. But this book, Circle of Prophets, is one that I'm going to be digging into. But he's working with Les Brown, doing some, man, this is good. He's working with Les Brown as well as this book, Selling to the Fluent. So, sometimes you got to change up your marketing. And I'm very, 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 very confident that progress is going to be made. So, for those that are ready to partner, collaborate, and go to another level, I'm saying you can support the Success Scholar if you desire. For instance, the film Black Friday has a black billionaire in it, Mike Roberts. I mean, some people, yes, you should consider getting that film. Yes, I'm in it. You can get it copies from me. I do have Gentrifies and 1804s, and a few other things. But what I'm saying is, you know, we got to connect these dots and create these opportunities. So, um, but good things happening. Looking forward. I'm available for interviews and panels and moderating for different events. So just let me know. Holla at the Success Scholar. Ready to be out, going to the Black Speakers Network Mixer this evening. So I'm one of the sponsors of that. So again, knowledge being dropped, but good things are happening. You got to have that marketing mix. Trust me. I mean, I see people, having a lot of success, and this is why, of course, I'm going back to this. I mean, you gotta mix it up. You gotta hit different audiences in different places. But you have to realize that some media may not necessarily be your friend. Honestly. So I'm not like begging. I don't want to assume that that people would appreciate me, the fact that I'm in this book with Les Brown. It may not necessarily be enough for individuals, or or the fact I've read 100 books a year for 11 years. That may not necessarily be enough for individuals. But again, I'm very happy and excited about the progress going to be made. Dropping some commercials here real soon coming up. You know, in the Baltimore market, and I kind of messed up the commercial, so I had to have them redo it. I really didn't like how it came out. I messed up. I should have said something, but it's gonna be hot. The films are gonna be moving. Of course, from this promotion campaign that I have coming up. So yeah, but that's about it, man. I'm just excited. Books excite me, y'all. Not folk with money, because I know that when you are, a lifelong learner, you continue to learn and study, and show up at the right places. You will become a success. So, that's all I have to say. Yeah, I'm ready to read this book. Let me see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ready to read this book, and man, this book is good. This book is good. So I'm excited. Progress is being made. Stay tuned in. Holla at the Success Scholar. I'm out. Peace.